Okay, welcome back. Now it's time to properly prepare some materials for my scene. The first I want to create is glass to see interior um, of my buildings and properly set it up reflection that gives our scene a very nice realism. So to do this, create shader, Vray bridge, advanced material like usual. I name it glass, and I want to create a basic material like activate refraction layer and specular layer. This is our simple glass, and I think this works good for now. I'm going to apply to my glasses. As you can see, I have already in one object my glasses in these buildings, and also because I have instances this building, it's related with this one. When I put the material on these buildings, it's applied to these buildings too. Okay, my first material is set it up correctly. Now I want to activate a new Vray bridge advanced material, name it ground. I have already my texture here to properly do this. So I have this ground bump for this one. I think this is not very important because it's the ground under the my garden, under my grass, so it's maybe only to see what basic for my base for my grass, but it's not very visible in my render. So I'm doing this, go to my ground, add this to my ground layer. I want to disable for now my grass to see the texture of my, I think it's to tile a bit, so maybe we can try to 10 by 10. Let's see what happens. Maybe 5 by 5 can be good. We have a little bit of tiling, but I think in camera views this doesn't affect a lot my camera. Okay, maybe we can try to see with an IS map preview size what it's look like. Okay, I think the start is good. Return to default. Maybe we can try to increase a bit to 8 by 8 to have a better result in my render. After doing this, I want to reactivate my grass, and I think we have to set up my grass. So I have already my maps. No, I pause the video for a bit and search for my map. Okay, I found it in my PC the texture for my grass. So basically, create new Vray bridge, advanced material, name it grass. Put on my diffuse layer this texture here. Okay, and add this to my grass. I think we can tweak the UV to 5 by 5 maybe, and we can have to, maybe we can try to see what happens in my render by tweak a bit of position, because I have this tiling that's very ugly, but I think with this shader, with this air tag here, the fuel tag, maybe we can fix a bit. So let's see what happened in my picture viewer. Oh, sorry, I have the wrong settings in my render because I wanted to reduce a bit my resolution to have a faster render. So I can delete this previous test. Okay, as you can see, the problem here is quite invisible, and here is a little bit of problem. Maybe we can try to fix this problem by increasing the map size. So I stop it. Okay, and I want to increase map size on this grass, so maybe we can try to 3 by 3. We can try to tweak this to not have effect in my render. I think it's good. And sorry, I forgot to talk about my glass. As you can see, I have created my glass and I have some reflection there due to my trees in my scene, but I think it's a little bit poor in reflection, but maybe we can tweak this later with adding some reflection environment to my scene. Okay, we can try to add this ground to this plane backwards. Maybe we can try a little tricks. So I want to create a new shader, Vray bridge, blend material. I want to use as base material this ground and this one as coat material. Use this. Okay, and now I want to use a noise texture to blend it up. I want to use maybe a fire noise, yeah. And let's try to apply it on my ground here. I'll reduce the size a bit by 5 by 5, and I want to increase, this one, this, we can fix. Okay, it doesn't affect my render because it's only gives me by this noise texture. Maybe we can try to global scale, increase this global scale to 2000. I don't want to see. I don't see differences in my viewport, so I think it's a problem of pre-visualization. So I think in render works good, so we can test it. For do a quick test of this one, I wanna hide my trees and also my grass and see what happens in this zone here. Okay, I think it's good now. Maybe we can try to increase a bit the quantity of grass material. As you can see, I have use these tricks to by using this blend material to create a randomly surface on this background that's will be covered a bit from my grass and my trees, so it's not important, it's not very realistic, but I think it gives me a nice look for my render. So I think it's we're gonna increase a bit the tile for this building, so stop the render for this plane, sorry, and maybe we can try to 10 by 10 and see what happens. As you can see, I have more resolution on my maps, but it doesn't affect my noise pattern, so I want to stop it. Maybe we can tweak a bit the UVs of this plane, so I wanna go here. Maybe you can try to see what happens in cubic mapping. I think it works very well. I see the preview in this area, but let's see what happens. And now I have too much tiling, so we can try to see reducing it to maybe 3 by 3 works well. Oh, it's very tough. .5? Really? What you talking about this? Let's compare. Think it's better results. Okay, good. I think I'm pretty happy with my blended here, so I stop it. And I want to increase the grass portion of this material, so I'm going to my Vray blend material and name it Hills. Maybe we can try to set global scale to 1000. We can try a different seed and see what happens now. Yeah, I think we have better results. Stop it. I will increase a bit again, so maybe to a value of see what happens. Too much now, maybe 500 works good. $500. Okay, can be good. Stop it. And let's see. Now we concentrate on the trees material. So I activate my trees, create a new shader, Vray bridge advanced material. Maybe we can name it bark. Close this one, I don't want to use this. Textures, bark diffuse. Put this one here. Activate my bump map and use this one for my bump. Maybe we can try to an amount of 0.1 works good for me. Maybe it's a bit of amount, but activate my specular layer. Maybe you can try to fix it. Just copy this bump map. Use this here. Reduce the power of reflection on my bark. And maybe we can try to figure out a glossiness of 0.7. Maybe it's too much. 0.6 can be good. Okay. Now assign it. Oh, sorry. I want this is my first tree here. So I want to assign it to the bark section. Okay. Works good. Now I have to set it up to material for my tree leaf, so I want to use the same leaf, but I have a color correction for my leaf to create a little bit of difference for the leaf. So I want to create a new shader, leaf 01. Go to my text folder, I have the diffuse one. I also have my reflection and bump, but maybe we can use it later. Now it's not important for me. Maybe we can try to add because the reflection bumping I think is not very important. Reflection maybe was important, but I think it's too heavy to calculate for this moment, so maybe I can use it later for the final tunings. So I'm going to use only leaf opacity, go to my material weight, and apply this alpha and invert it. This is first leaf. Maybe we can try to filter it up because I don't want this super saturated green, so I want to change a bit my shaders here. Okay, one, maybe can this one, and maybe the second type of leaves can be a kind of this. So I'm gonna apply this material to leaf 02 and this one to leaf 01. Okay, as you can see I have a little bit of variation on my leaf color. That can work good. And as you can see, by using it on instances, I have already textured a lot of trees. Let's do the same with the other textures. So I want to use the same leaf on these trees and only create a variation on my bark. So I'm going to create a new bark 01 and maybe 02. This one can be 01. In 02 maybe we can add a filter on this map, maybe a layer, and the color, maybe we can try to have a brownish color, less saturated. I think like this can be good. Let's try to blend it up a bit with my bark. Put the bark on it. And okay, let's see what happens now. Maybe try to add a bit of light to my bark. Okay, this can work good for my second bark, so apply it to my second tree, that's this one. Okay, apply it to my bark. Thinks if UV is not good, maybe we can try to okay, it doesn't matter, maybe set it up to cubic, can be work good. You must remember that this kind of trees are in background and it's not quite visible, so I think it's a good start. Maybe you can try to add a bit of variation here. Yeah, I think it's good. Maybe we can try to set it up to 0.5, this texture. Okay, now do the same with my leaves. For this one, I think this one can be good. Okay, as you can see, I have already textured a bit of my a lot of my trees here. Maybe you can try to change some leaf texture, but for this tutorial I think is a good variation is already in scene. The only leaf I'm gonna set it up is this ones. I have choose this model from simply the content browser, so it's still in Cinema 4D, but it's set it up for a Cinema 4D material. So I want to go to my 3D object under visualize folder, go to plants, sorry, European tree mature, I think, yes, it's this one, Jean-Pierre tree common, re-import it on scene, and as you can see I have already imported these two materials. So the last thing to do is delete the already imported tree because I have this one, create a new shader advanced material and name it what is called this, juniper bark. Okay, go to this material, copy the color. So I told you, as you can try to replicate a Cinema 4D material in the same way in Vray. So the color one is going to, the texture on the color mapping going to the diffuse slot on the Vray advanced material. So paste it here. Add reflection, we have some okay, reflections doesn't affect a lot. So the last thing to do is copy this bump here, go here, activate your bump and paste the texture here. There we go. We are already recreated this material, so we can delete this. Okay, create a new shader, advanced material, name it leaf, juniper leaf. Okay, and do the same things. Go to here, copy this one, put it on my fuse color, paste, bump, I don't want to use it, or maybe we can use it because I have this in my foreground here, so it can be good. Activate your bump, paste it, maybe we can try to 0.5, and last thing to do is copy this alpha map, copy, and apply it to my material weight, paste. Oh, sorry, we have copied the wrong map, so go to alpha, copy, material weight, and oh gosh, what's you talking about? Copy, paste. This doesn't copy the correct images. What you talking about? Copy shader. Maybe you can try this. Paste shader. No, it doesn't work. We can try the last thing. Lock this one. Return to this one. Go to alpha. Drag and drop. What? What is your problem? I have already set it up in the correct way. Wait. custom, and then linear, zero, 1, 0. Oh god. Maybe you can try to leave this up for a while, but I think it's not work good. Maybe you can try. Oh gosh, we can select layer set, layer alpha, sorry. Okay, now it's work. I don't know this kind of problem, so invert the alpha. That's because we have a TIFF image with some layer on it, so I have selected the correct one. Okay, now we have prepared the last material, so I'm going to my common jumper, add this bar to my trees, and this one to my leaves. Okay, I think we have a little bit of problem. That's because our leaves is not more dense, but we can try, and maybe we can fix it later. Okay, so to see what happened in my render, I reactivate my grass, save the scene, and see a text, a quick render result. Okay, I think my whole scene works very well. Last thing to do, I think these are oversaturated and don't like it. So I'm going to fix it in my material, so I stop the render. Okay, go to this one. Oh, sorry, I can delete this because I don't want it. It's the oldest Cinema 4D material. So I'm going to here, go this. Maybe we can try to add to this layer a filter. Not work. So I can use saturation and lightness. Reduce a bit my saturation, and we can try to change a bit my hue. One more warm tint, so I think it's good. Save again and see what happened now. Okay, I think it's worked better than before. As you can see, I have reduce this saturated area that for me are not very realistic, and I think it's a good start for my ramp. So in the next lesson we are going to texture up my building, and also maybe we can try to add a little bit of furniture in outdoor situation to increase the realism. So stay tuned and follow me on Instagram and YouTube. Bye!